Greetings folks, this is Sarah with Obadiah's, and today I want to talk to you about the Heco 520 wood cook stove. Now this review will actually be comparable for both the 520 and the 420 because they all have the same features. Basically the only differences between the two models is the 420 is going to be a little bit smaller and will have a slightly smaller firebox and oven size. But otherwise, the looks of the stove is exactly the same and all of the features are the same. So, many of you guys have been asking us, what is the difference between the Heco stove and Kitchen Queen stoves? This is actually the Kitchen Queen 480 right here, right next to the Heco 520. So both of these are going to be very comparable in heat output. Both have a 7-inch flue. Both of them could potentially heat up to 3,500 square feet depending on the insulation in the home. They're both rated at about 100,000 BTUs. So what's the differences? Why pick a Heco over a Kitchen Queen stove? That's what I'm here to tell you. All right, number one of my favorite features on this Heco stove is this porcelain cooktop. The porcelain cooktop is available in 3 removable panels. Now what's cool about that is you also have the option to downgrade to the brushed steel cooktop. I apologize, I think they call it a polished steel cooktop on the Heco. Because these panels are removable in 3, you can actually purchase 2 cooktop options. You can have the porcelain cooktop plus the polished steel cooktop. Why would you want 2 cooktops, you might ask? All right, so I think that the biggest concern has been with this porcelain cooktop here is that it could potentially scratch, especially if you're cooking with cast iron pans. So cast iron pans can get heavy, especially if you've got a big one. It's full of lots of food. Let's say you're cooking on hot over here and you want to move it to a slow simmer. If you slide that heavy cast iron pan across the cooktop, you very easily could scratch the top. So it's highly recommended with cooking with cast iron that you physically pick up your pan and move it. Unless you don't mind small scratches in the cooktop, then it's not an issue. But what is cool about this cooktop is it's actually cast iron, not steel. So some people prefer to cook on cast iron. If you're one of those people, this cooktop is excellent. Also, so easy to keep clean. Anything spills, it just wipes up without any issues whatsoever. It also doesn't discolor. So you can see that this cooktop looks very shiny. That's because this is a brand new stove that's never been burned. As you burn this, because it's not stainless, it will discolor over time. It'll turn like a bluish gray color if you've ever seen what steel looks like when it's heated up. So that's a benefit. Now the benefit to the removable panels is you can mix and match. So let's say, you want like stainless in the middle and 2 porcelain or whatever. You can mix and match it up and have various different cooking options, and you can cook on cast iron and steel all on the same stove. Very cool. All right, other features to talk about. I would say one of the major differences is the door. You're going to notice this swings the opposite way. This could be a benefit for some people. We had a lot of people ask on many of our cook stoves if the door hinge can be changed a different way. So this one does open from the left-hand side and swings to the right. Glass doors, burn extremely clean, excellent air wash design, tightly gasketed, seals very tight. Okay, also let's talk about the secondary combustion. So I did a little bit of a review on the Model 2000 versus the Kitchen Queen. Now this one has secondary combustion reburn, but this one is unique because it has full reburn tubes from front to back in the top of the firebox. This is essentially a full EPA style firebox. Now the stove does not have an EPA stamp, because it's not required yet, and EPA testing is a very expensive, lengthy process to go through. So we are prepping to be able to pass EPA if we need to in the future, but because it's not required, we have not got the product tested. However, these combustion reburn tubes do increase your overall efficiency of the stove. So this is fully refractory lined here. You have your air burn tubes, and then you have baffles across the top of the reburn tubes. You'll notice that the firebox is going to be slightly smaller on the Heco 520 versus the Kitchen Queen 480. However, even though it has a smaller firebox, you're still going to achieve those same long burn times. This easily burns 12 to 14 hours. If you're mixing coal in there, it could burn 16 to 20 hours is what we've seen. So those reburn tubes, even though the firebox is smaller because you're getting the increased efficiency, we've rated that somewhere between approximately 5 to 10% more efficient than what the Kitchen Queen burns. So what does that mean for you as a consumer? Well, it means you're loading less wood and you're getting more heat out of it. You're also cleaning out your oven less as well as your flue less. Overall, less maintenance. We did have a product tester who had actually previously had a Kitchen Queen stove, and they replaced it with a Heco 520. They've been burning their Heco now. I think it's going to be their 3rd year. So they didn't get one of the first models. But what they told us is that they were cleaning out their oven about 3 times a season on the Kitchen Queen, and they were cleaning out their flue twice a year. They were burning their Heco stove for 3 years, and they never cleaned it. Now, I'm not suggesting you do that. We definitely suggest you clean your stove every few months or as needed, and you should definitely at least check your chimney once a year to see if it needs to be swept. Now, to this customer's surprise, he hadn't cleaned the stove in 3 seasons, and when he got in there to clean out the oven in the chimney, he said there was hardly anything to be cleaned. So maybe that 5 to 10% overall increased efficiency is a low number, but I don't want to overestimate anything, so we'll go with that. So we're very, very excited about that. Oh, what else is unique about this stove is that it is rated to burn both wood and coal. The Kitchen Queen 480 is a wood-only stove. Now, maybe you're never going to burn coal. Why would you want a coal stove? Number 1, coal burns so much hotter than wood does. So if your stove is rated to burn coal, you know it's a quality product. Number 2, any type of coal stove has combustion air coming in from underneath the firebox. That also makes it very easy to start a fire, even if you're not burning coal, just wood. In my experience, the fire just lights right up, so I definitely prefer that. You have the ash pan located directly below the firebox for easy clean out. Holes here for the air wash to keep that glass clean. Oven clean out, again, is located on the rear of the stove for the Kitchen Queen. Why they did that, I don't know, because most people have their stove up against the wall, you know, like this. You're not going to fit behind here to clean out your oven. So this panel comes off the front, easily removable. Get in there with the shop vac, super easy to clean. Oven is very nice. I actually like this pull down door, maybe even more than I like the slide open door. I just think it looks really nice. It's been really durable. So far, oven temperatures have been pretty accurate, but it is recommended to maybe keep an additional one in the oven just to see, because sometimes thermometers can be off. 2 oven racks, plenty of room in here for baking. So we're excited about that. The Heco 520 and 420 stoves also come standard with the thermostatic draft control, which was a $190 upcharge on the Kitchen Queen stove. So that's a perk as well. Another major benefit I would say is that we are offering free shipping on all of our Heco stoves and no sales tax. So that'll save you a pretty penny on the shipping charges, as these stoves are quite hefty. So we're pretty stoked about all of that as well. You have another air control located right here. And then again, your oven control is located to the side. I'm gonna say it again. You only want to activate your oven when you are actually baking. And this is the Heco 520 review. And this is Sarah with Obadiah. Thanks so much for watching and have a wonderful day.